What's up everybody, we're Force back, and today we got another tutorial video. I'm going to try to show you guys some very basic reads so that you can figure out what you're looking at pre-snap at the defense, what kind of coverage you could probably expect. Again, this isn't going to cover every single formation out there. It's going to be almost impossible to have to do video by video, but this is a good base, especially for beginners. Intermediate, and basically anyone that doesn't really know what they're looking at. So I hope this really helps you guys. If anyone else has any other comments about how you can help, leave them down below. And let's get this thing started. Alright everybody, so we're back here. So we got our defense lined up. Let's take a look at what we're going to start with. So we're going to start with I believe we're going to start off with cover 4. So let's show the coverage here. So the first thing you're going to want to look at here, or this is what I do, is I watch the safeties as soon as I snap the ball. So that's going to be the first thing. Just watch those two guys up top, obviously the strong and free safeties. And let's notice what they do. So we're going to snap the ball and just throw it up, and we got lucky there. So let's take a look real quick at what they did that can help you differentiate that it was cover 4 defense. So let's just take a quick look at this. So let's go to the instant replay. So if you watch them, their first movement is just to sit down into their base. So they don't move. You can see back here that once the receivers start to come downfield is when they start to make their first movements backwards. So that's one indication that you can tell it's cover 4. But there is some things that'll keep you from knowing that right off the bat, and I'm going to show you a way that you can kind of figure that out anyways. And it should be able to help. Obviously, there's going to be situations where people are going to be able to disguise their defenses, but hopefully, like I said earlier, this is just a base for you guys to figure out how to figure it out. So let's go back to the practice field. So again, we're in our cover 4. Now the one thing that's going to disguise no matter what you do is going to be base aligning. So let's change this to cover 2. So you're going to see our cornerback came up to about 3 to 5 yards off of the line of scrimmage, and they're a little bit outside the numbers, slightly further than they normally would be in cover 3 or man. Man, they're usually up on the line, off the line about a yard or 2, unless it's pressed. Now the problem comes in is when someone baselines. So let's baseline our defense and we'll see what the problem is here. So our cornerbacks have dropped back to about 5 to 7 yards. And that's when you come out and say, oh, okay, this guy's probably running cover 4. I think I know how to beat this. And then you snap the ball and you are wrong, unfortunately. So, but the thing you're going to want to do is exactly what we just did on that first play, is key in on those safeties, okay? So we're going to run the play, and we'll go into instant replay just so we can see what we're looking at here. So we're going to hop over to the instant replay once it becomes available to us. So we're going to go to the instant replay, and again, we're going to look at those safeties. Now, again, let's take a look. So our corners, again, are dropped back. That's perfectly fine at this point. So as soon as the play runs, you see how this time they don't immediately just sit down on their haunches. They're already moving backwards as soon as the ball snapped. They're already dropping back to get into their zone so that they can sit back and sit there. That's going to be the difference between exposing those baselines, because baseline basically evens out the formation and makes it look as a generic play. So it's a lot more difficult to differentiate. Okay, this guy's running cover 2, this guy's running cover 3, cover 4, cover 6. So what you're going to want to do is, like I said, key in on the safeties and look at what their first movements do. So let's go back to the practice field, and we're going to start. This is on a generic cover 4, and we're going to change it to cover 3 sky. So the cover 3 sky is pretty easy to, cover 3 in general is more or less pretty easy to pick out, because what will happen is there's that misalignment of the strong and the free safety. So you kind of know that they're in cover 3, and you can see now that the strong safety has come down into the box because he's going to be going out to cover the flat. Now, what happens when they baseline is they're going to drop back into almost that cover 4 situation. You're looking at it and you say, oh, I think it's cover 4. Maybe they're playing off on man. But as we can see here, it's still that same play. So let's run it, and we'll digest exactly what they're doing here so that we can see what we can do as soon as the play starts. So we throw the ball. Yay, we picked up a couple yards here. But let's get into the meat of this. So we're going to drop down into the instant replay. Or again, we're going to watch the safeties. And what you'll see happen is that they should rotate from left to right, where the free safety is going to come back towards the middle of the field and play center field. And that strong safety should come down immediately down to cover the flat. So you should see them starting to rotate. Now he's down in the flats over here, and he's starting to move his way over towards the center field. So that's a pretty good indication that that's going to be cover 3. And you can see when they line up is going to be, again, that single high safety most times. But a lot of people disguise that because a lot of people will pick on that and pick off that open lane of the field where you could streak a slot receiver. If you're in guns close, you can streak one of those inside receivers and you get them pretty open. That's when you see those guys blowing down the field, and there's really nothing you can do to stop that unless you're using that play and you kind of expect that to happen, or you're trying to bait someone into that. But that's some pretty high level skill right there. So we'll show man again, guys. This is gonna be more so, I think, for some beginner players. Not to say that intermediate or experienced players can't use this, but this is the information I'm gearing this towards because a lot of people already know some of this information. So we're gonna take this into cover 2 man. Now the difference between cover 2 man in an audible and cover 2 man straight up is the alignment of the cornerback. So if I hit Y and down to press, the cornerbacks don't move. They don't come down close to the line because they're already pressed coming out of the audible. So that's a pretty easy way to see it, unless, again, they're going to go and they're going to try to base align this, and they're going to drop back to that almost cover 4 look. And again, because this is cover 2 with those the safeties, they're going to do the same thing. As soon as we snap the ball, they're just going to go right back into their coverage area. So they're just going to drop back into those deep blue zones, cover their area of the field. So it's the same thing as cover 2 zone, and cover 2 man is going to be the same thing. Now, really quickly, I want to see if I can find it real quick. I don't want to take up too much more time. This video is running a little bit longer than I thought. But I just want to see if I can find cover 6 really quick and explain that for you real quick. All right, everybody. So we're back and we're in cover 6. So you can see now is it's a little bit different. This is going to be a mix of cover 4 and cover 2 is basically what it equates to. You got the cornerbacks that are going to be, one of the cornerback to the right is going to be playing obviously that shallow flat, and then the strong safety is going to be playing cover 2 essentially, and the free safety is going to be playing cover 4 towards the middle of the field. Because now that strong safety has that entire right half of the field to cover. So let's just run the play, and we should see what they do to help differentiate, and then we'll do the breakdown. So what you saw there was a mix of both of what we saw in the last couple of instances there. So what you're going to see is you're going to see the free safety is just going to sit down into his stance, watch what's going to happen, and then he'll go. And then our strong safety is just going to bullet back to his position. So let's take a look here. So he sits over here, he's still not moving, and he's already going backwards. So at here, you should know, okay, this guy's in cover 6. So guys, the biggest thing I can give you for a takeaway here is really know your reads and where you should be going on different plays and against different defenses, and where you probably should and should not throw the football. Because otherwise, I can tell you how you can diagnose whether they base align, whether they're coming out in cover 6, cover 4, cover 2, or cover 3. But if you don't know where to throw the football, it really doesn't make a difference. But this is a good base. Practice this in the practice area. Run it against the computer when you're playing some of the solo challenges, and really pick up, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is where I should throw the football. And then, start to lab it, start to practice, this is where I should go with the football. so on and so forth, and then take it into your head-to-head matches and look and see, okay, this guy's base aligning. But I know that, okay, his safeties go shooting right back. Okay, this is going to be cover 2. And if one of them's sitting down, the other one's shooting back, we're in cover 6. Or if they're both shooting back, it's cover 2 man or it's cover 2 zone. And then just know where to go with the football. Just make your reads. It's going to take practice. It's not just going to be me giving you this video and it's the instant answer. So guys, I hope this video helps you out. Again, don't forget to leave comments down below if you guys have any other tips or tricks on deciphering pre-snap defenses to figure out what you're running. And I guess it's not really pre-snap. I guess this is immediately post-snap. So we'll change that to immediately post-snap. So guys, this has been Wereforce. Again, I hope you like, subscribe, and like the video if you did. This has been Wereforce signing out.